This is Out of the Box with your host, Jonathan Clark. Out of the Box, Sunday nights at 9 on Q1043.
The new album, The Battle at Garden's Gate, out now everywhere. All the info, GretaVanFleet.com. We have the two of the brothers, Sam and Josh Kiszka from Greta Van Fleet with us. And guys, actually the last time we were in the same room, I believe, was at this insane show you guys did at the Bowery Ballroom here in New York City. But before that, we were in the studios at Q1043, and I just checked the video of us when we were talking and interviewing, performing. 3 million views right now.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah, very good. Well, you guys are used to that. But a lot has happened since then. First, you won a Grammy in 2019 for Best Rock Album from the Fires EP. Now, did you guys actually go to the ceremony and receive that award? Because that was before COVID.
Yeah, that was, I believe, what was it? The pre-award show awards?
Because apparently
Got the tequila train coming here.
I think this is kind of a testament to what we believe in this current society.
You guys are in Nashville, right?
Exactly.
So that's the tequila train?
Every time that train comes by, we take a shot of tequila. We're pretty drunk most of the time anyway.
They have hacked into your Zoom schedule, so they know when you're, Zooming. But get back to the Grammys. Tell me about that pre-Grammy deal.
I kind of remember us leaving the hotel to get into the runner vans to get to the award show, because there was a couple televised categories that we were nominated for. So that would be the reason to go. And we were leaving the hotel, and our manager took us aside and said, "You just won a Grammy for Best Rock and Roll Album." So that was kind of unexpected. I didn't really expect to be nominated in the first place.
Well, you got 4 nominations, right?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was kind of mind blowing, but I didn't expect to win anything, and I didn't want to get my hopes up anyway. But it was great if we could take one home. That was really good.
Well,
it lives on the back of a toilet now.
That's classic.
It's classic. I know.
That's perfect. I went to Metallica headquarters once in the Bay Area, and I was just getting a tour. Like, the band wasn't there. It was like management or whatever. All their T-shirts and rehearsal studios and everything. It was amazing. And I said, "Where's the bathroom?" "Oh, it's like over there." And I go to the bathroom, and right above the toilet is a picture of Metallica with Jason Newsted when he was still in the band. And somebody put like a sticky on it and it pointed it to Jason, and it was like, "Dude, you screwed up."
Oh, well, yeah, that's pretty classic.
It was pretty brutal, but I love the new Greta Van Fleet merchandise. The robe is really cool. The sweatpants, I would think, during the pandemic must be a huge seller.
Yeah, you'd imagine. Yeah, I don't really look at those numbers, but I'm hoping. Cozy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Big idea.
Yeah, we do the merch for the art of it. It's definitely a part of the whole idea of what Greta Van Fleet is, and a lot of people just kind of stamp some stuff on a shirt and call it a day, but it's a big deal.
Yeah,
no, it's really well done. I got to get some of those sweatpants.
Wow.
Let's get to this new album. Let's get to this new album, though. You worked with Kurstin, who's like, geez, I mean, he's got quite the track record. I mean, small names like Paul McCartney, Foo Fighters, Adele. Was he a lot more involved in, say, song structure during this recording process than, say, previous albums or EPs?
Well, if we were arguing about song structure,
there you go. He's a mediator.
Yeah.
When there are artistic differences, he's certainly a mediator. I think he was just, he's a multi-instrumentalist, and I think he was able to listen to what we were doing and understand it more technically. So I think that was very helpful for this album especially. It's such a technical album. But he really was kind of a bit more of a fly on the wall. He kind of kept away from the process, and then he would come in and be able to pick up an instrument and play and do the thing live if we were going to have multiple tracks or stems, and we wanted to hear it in a live space. And so he would get on the bass while Sam would get on the keys to figure something out. So I think that was rather helpful as well. And I think he really did bring to the table this playful or explorative energy that I think is really important for the case of creation anyway. So, but that was Greg, and he's one of the funniest people I've ever met. So that's quite a good, merit there.
Well, the songs on the album, just sort of speaking to that point that you just made, a lot of them could even be considered, dare I say, bring up the word prog, but it seems like you really sort of allowed yourself to stretch out on this album. And the songs really have like a, for lack of a better term, like a cinematic or visual vibe.
Yeah, I believe it. That's an appropriate assessment. It's kind of what we set out to do. Is just kind of an album we wanted to make for a long time, but we didn't think that it would be particularly well received. I think after sort of laying the context of the groundwork or the preface, the thesis or something, you've got people. I think there's this ongoing narrative that we built with fans and music lovers, and I think they kind of know more what Greta Van Fleet is or who we are, where we're coming from. And so I think we thought this is an appropriate time to be able to build and put this album out. So I think it really did sound, I think it's kind of on a conceptual level, and I think that it's a bit more progressive than the previous work. Although I do view it as kind of an extension of Anthem of the Peaceful Army. It's kind of maybe a little more macro or a different variation or geography or something. Speaking of, that parallel universe.
Yeah, I certainly think it's a very natural evolution of what Greta Van Fleet is.
Well, once you get back on the road, given what you have just described, the new album being, do you have an elaborate stage production like in the works as we speak?
Always.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's not bad.
There will be Tesla coils and whatnot. Yeah.
Well,
electricity.
Let me ask you this: given this, the expansiveness of this new, or sort of advanced progressive sound for the band, will you have more musicians on the road with you once you get back on the road, or will it just still be the four of you?
It'll be the four of us. We've, I mean, we're not opposed or adverse to, I suppose, to having people come out and do maybe a couple tracks or something with us, or, but I think we kind of covet the ability to make all of that music just between the four of us. And of course, with this record, we're using every limb to play it. Everybody's using all of the limbs. But it's been a blast. It's just like you're playing to a wall, though. That's just it. It's not like there's a roaring crowd that's fueling you like some kind of gasoline god or something. I don't know. But it's I think it's quite. I mean, it's been a little bit of a beautiful challenge to be able to get into playing these songs, but now they're starting to sort of evolve live, and things are sort of interconnecting and doing some very strange, unique and interesting stuff. So I think that's a good sign.
You recorded this in LA, right? At Greg's place?
Yeah. I kind of recorded a couple stuff at his house in Silver Lake, and most of it we recorded in the Henson studio on La Brea.
I heard there were quite a few celebrity sightings at the studio.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's always people going in and out of that place,
Come on, give us some names. Give us some names.
Elon Musk.
Who's that?
Yeah, he was there. Bieber.
Did you smoke weed with him and like bring him in and play him some tracks? Like, that's what he does, I guess. He's working on was working on what would you call it? An electronic music?
Yeah. He was mixing there.
What's it? Paul. What's his name?
McCartney.
No. I know. Well, Nicole Kidman's husband. What's his name?
Keith Urban.
Thank you. He was recording. And Greg had worked with him, so they got talking. But I I got talking with him as well, and he's such a sweet guy, really interesting.
Yeah,
That guy,
he was
he is a
spiritual.
ridiculous guitar player, by the way.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
also praising the fact that we use guitars.
Yeah, he was really digging that. Yeah, so that was fun. And then
yeah.
Paul, what's the name of that? The gentleman who is Breaking Bad, the younger guy of the two.
Oh,
leads.
great actor. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
So he was there with his daughter, I think. But it's really funny because you just walk the holes in the place, and you run into whomever. It's just kind of interesting.
Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul. I'm really
Aaron Paul, yeah.
bad with names. I just I'm infamous for being shit with remembering names. So who's the guy who's playing for the Grateful Dead, the Deading Company?
Oh, John Mayer.
John Mayer was there as well. Yeah. So
Another
yeah,
excellent guitar player. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So lots of that going on. But I have a really funny story about pulling into the studio lot one day. There was I'd gotten a little bit of sun, and so how do I tell this story? I was pulling into the studio lot, traffic had stopped, and then there was this gentleman who came flying through the parking lane, and we swiped each other and blah. So I had done I'd gotten some sun that day, right? And I stepped out of the car, and the cops showed up, and we were figuring this stuff out. And Sam shows up, and we're just outside of Henson, and then this TMZ bus pulls up, stops, gets out, and here they come towards us. And Sam and I are going, well, what the hell do we do here? So they tell the police, we can't have them around here. So they're keeping them away. It was really, I've never experienced anything like that, but it was like a step into celebrity in the strangest sense.
That's Hollywood,
very
baby.
uncomfortable. That's Hollywood, I guess. I don't know.
To live and die in LA, right? Jeez.
I guess. So that was, and then it was that night we actually went to a show that Greg Kurstin was playing with Dave Grohl, and we met his mother there, and she's sweet. But that was it. And I showed up, and they're in I think it was at what's the name of the venue again?
John Anson
Ford. So we played 2 shows there before, and that dressing room is white. I mean, and I'm red, and I'm almost feeling the need to apologize for how tomato I
You must write all this down and remember things, because this will be in the Greta Van Fleet biography, or the Josh or the Sam autobiography in about 40 years or something.
Oh, man.
Good stories. But getting back to the new album, once again, we're with Greta Van Fleet right now. And My Way Soon, the first song we heard, I played that song a ton on the station here in New York. And this song, did it start with you with the lyrics, Josh? Because it definitely stands out as different than, say, a lot of the other songs on the album.
Yeah, it started, I think, with a riff that Jake was doing, and he had sent it to me, and I really dug it. And he kind of thought, well, I don't know if I want to do this track. It sounds a bit too poppy to me. It's too poppy, And I said, and that's kind of Jake. It's like, all right, remove all of the concerns. Let's do this track. And the lyrics came. I wrote those down before I got in the vocal booth to cut the vocal. So it was the last thing to come, It was the first and I think only song written in first person. And I was just listening to the thing and trying to tap into it and just open up to it and see what kind of came in, And it's just sort of a wave of, I guess, nostalgia, a reflection about life on the road kind of washed over me. And I thought, well, maybe that's what the song is. Maybe this is about the troubadours. Maybe this is about the free people, going out into their country where the land meets the sun and all of that kind of thing.
Well, I don't think you guys should worry about the pop label or the pop/rock label, because in my opinion, that's a great pop rock song, more rock than pop. But I'd say one of the best pop rock songs ever is Brown Sugar by the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 minutes, boom, it's fantastic, so I wouldn't worry about that. The video looks like each band member picked up a phone or a camera and just hit record.
Yeah, we had, I think Sam decided to buy a Super 8 camera.
Nice.
What was the brand again?
Old, it was like a late 70s Minolta.
Yeah, it's a great camera, really great camera. So it sort of stemmed from that, and we all started picking it up. And I have I'm a bit of a cinema freak, so I've been always running around with cameras. Man, I've got a lot of footage from years ago, and we just hit the road, and a lot of that footage is kind of interesting. So I guess it's kind of a natural inclination. We've been doing that a lot. So I guess we got a couple extra Super 8s, and we just kept them around and kind of shot when things were going down. And that was just footage to have. But I think when it came time to put out a music video for My Way Soon, he thought the footage is right here in front of us. We've got it, you know.
Well, let me ask you this: being the movie cinema freaks that you are, is there a movie that you will always watch when it comes on?
There's a couple,
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't know. It's like I think that it's almost like the biblical piece of cinema for me was like 2001: A Space Odyssey. I think that changed my life in so many ways. It's just sort of that obsessive
Kubrick
symmetry, and Kubrick is my absolute favorite, I think, really. But yeah, I think like Alejandro Jodorowsky with Holy Mountain. I don't know if you've seen that picture, but good God, man, that's great cinema.
What about you, Sam?
I couldn't refuse watching the Grand Budapest Hotel ever. I mean, if it's on, I'm gonna sit there and probably watch.
You're like, yep, 2 hours. See you later.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Sam, you are the bass player and I think the primary keyboard player, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you this. I'm just going to nerd out on you for a second. Do you play the keyboards while also simultaneously playing the bass pedals on the keyboard as well?
Yes, because we refuse to expand the band.
That's amazing. Have you watched some of these early jazz B3 players that just are insane on those organ pedals?
Yeah, that's kind of what got me into it was Jimmy Smith playing the bass pedals, doing rhythm with the left hand, doing lead with the right hand. And I will never be that. But
no, those guys are from another planet. I mean,
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was really inspiring for me. Getting into the jazz music, I guess getting into the keyboard and getting into jazz music went hand in hand for me.
Yeah, I mean, I just, I don't know what I equate that to. I think they're just built differently, constructed humans differently, like that. And the guy who plays the pedal steel guitar, I don't know how they do that because each limb is doing something different. It's just amazing.
It's pretty insane. Yeah, it's dedication to your craft for sure. When your life is that.
So in the last 3 years or 3 or 4 years, at what point did you realize, this is really happening now as far as the band's popularity? Maybe you met someone that you thought you would never meet, a rock idol or something, or maybe it was, 2 sold out shows at Red Rocks. That one's for both of you. What was that moment for each of you?
I think it kind of happens. I think it's kind of a consistent thing.
Yeah.
I would say playing to 15,000 or so people at our headline show in Bologna, Italy, was pretty insane because our Italian fans are really hardcore, really vivacious and wonderful. And to have so many of them and this beautiful outdoor venue, that was it's pretty magical.
Yeah, that was an eventful day. Yeah. I don't know. I think sometimes when you have some of the old masters give you sort of a go ahead or the pass of the torch, that's a big moment. And that's happened a couple of times. Just, I guess just having a bit of knowing Elton in a certain way has been, he's kind of almost like a rock and roll grandfather figure, and so that's been huge. Being able, the moment we step on stage with Elton and you're playing with Elton John, it's kind of like pinch me now, and you get off stage after the show and it's like, well, I can die in peace. There's been a lot of I can die in peace moments, I suppose. Maybe that's the name of the biography.
There you go.
Die in peace. But so and it's this strange, I guess, invisible bucket list where there's things that you would never think up that happen or come about, and so it's a strange world.
Yeah, you write them down, cross them off.
And if I were to be journaling really well and lose the journal somewhere, somebody would pick it up, read it, laugh, and toss it in the trash and think it's totally fantasy or something.
Write it down. Write it all down, man. I don't speak it into your voice notes in your iPhone or something like that. This is stuff you don't want to forget. I see that you'll be on tour with Metallica in 2022. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the
We're
plan.
doing it finally. Maybe 2 years late, but it's happening.
Yeah.
Wow. But any chance we'll see you on a stage in America before 2022? Hopefully, New York City.
Seems like there's a good chance that we'll be playing shows that look normal to a degree. I think most capacity, you know, as opposed to having bubbles or something. Sometime in the summer, I think, is we've got the idea that we're going to do some shows, and certainly, hopefully by fall, it looks kind of back to what we remember touring or live shows were.
Yeah, we're gonna dip our toes in this year, but serious touring is not going to start back up for the safety of our humankind and society.
Yes.
2022.
It'll be a slow process, but I think it's going to definitely be kind of sort of blooming this year. So.
Well, we got to talk about the video for Heat Above. I mean, for a minute, I thought I was seeing a Stevie Nicks video from the late 70s or the 80s. The stage outfits, the costumes are quite something. Tell us about that video and what is going on.
No, we don't know. We have no idea.
It's too ethereal to read.
We kind of decided we would, you know, get ourselves in a certain headspace, if you know what I mean, when we started coming up with the idea, and by the time it was over, we were so far gone we can't remember a damn thing. No, I don't know. We kind of thought it's an ethereal song, and we thought,
it's that feeling. It's the
we wanted to create,
heavenly.
we wanted to create something sort of Garden.
You know what I think? You know what I've been playing that song on the show too. What I think about that song is when I imagine seeing you guys playing that live, and I imagine the lighters coming out.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, the cell phone light.
Yeah, cell phone lights. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I hope so. That's always great. I love when that happens. You're in this room, and I remember we were playing in New York. It was can't remember what the hell was the name of that venue.
Bowery Ballroom or no?
It wasn't Bowery Ballroom, but it was an outdoor venue.
PNC, Jones Beach.
I was like tempted to jump up right into the other room and.
I think I know. Was it on top of a roof overlooking the Hudson River?
No, it was kind of a bit of a bowl.
That's in Queens. It's the tennis stadium.
Oh, Forest Hills Tennis Stadium.
Yeah, that was it.
So I remember just kind of the sun went down there, just went down, and I think we were playing Age of Man, and it was just, you know, like stars in the sky. This whole body of glowing light, you know.
We opened
electric
up that
light.
We opened up that show with Wild Thing.
Yeah, that's right. We did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I mean, once in a while, it's like, let's try that on, you know. We have to keep the set fresh. Otherwise, we and the audience.
Well, and it felt like a special happening. So we thought we would just kind of do what we felt.
Yeah, but I think Heat Above, I hope we get that reaction out of that track.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a magical track.
That's the oldest track on the album. We wrote that 5 years ago.
That's amazing when those things just like come back after like 5 years, right?
Yeah, it's sort of a testament to the impact that it has on you. Probably you just kind of keep it around, you know. Yeah.
It's Josh and Sam Kisga, the two brothers, or two of the three brothers that are in Greta Van Fleet. The new album is The Battle at Garden's Gate. It is out now everywhere. It's really good. Everyone should go out and buy it. All the info, gretavanfleet.com. Guys, thanks for spending some time with us, and get your butts back here to New York City and start melting our faces. We can't wait, man.
We'll jump on the next train.
We're ready for it.
This is Out of the Box with your host, Jonathan Clark. Out of the Box, Sunday nights at 9 on Q1043.